Hey, all you role players, gamers, geeks, freaks, and everyone in between. Welcome back to Deacon's Table. I am Deacon Blues, your resident dungeon master, and main dungeon master or dungeon master prime, I guess, for whatever you want to call it. For Foreverland, dungeon master prime, main dungeon master, dungeon bastard. It doesn't really matter. All names are good. Welcome to episode 20 of MiniAdventures. Tonight is the Shallow Stir. We've got a group of 3 brave souls that are going to be joining on this adventure. These 3 characters are currently residing in the town of Kelpwood within the Seahorse Isles. They have been quietly introduced to an individual, a kobold by the name of Kreek Snapfang. And they were introduced through the Ebb and Rest Inn in the place. And Kreek has a job for them to do, and that's basically what's happening. So people understand about Kreek. Kreek is a kobold. Kobolds in Foreverland are not the scaly, draconic things that you picture in Dungeons and Dragons. They are very dog-like creatures. Not to be confused, though, with lupus. They are not wolf folk or anything like that. They are literally dog-like creatures of their own species, and they're tiny. Kreek Snapfang is 3 feet tall. Like if you were looking at him, and mind you, he looks like a fox. He would look like a vulpus, which is a beast folk. Half fox and half beast folk. They're about 5 feet, whereas Kreek is 3 feet. He's much smaller and a different type of individual. So we're going to go around the table and meet the players we have today, and we're going to find out who they are and what character it is that they are going to be playing. And I'm going to start with the person to my over here. This way. That would be Serena. Serena, you are muted, just so you know. Who are you, and who is it, and what is it that you are playing?
Hi, everyone. I'm Lorelei, and I'm going to be playing Serena, who is a Selkie Paladin Oath of Redemption. And if you don't know what Selkie is, she's half human, half seal. So she's very fun to play.
Excellent. And right below Serena is Cassantor. Cassantor, who are you, and who is it, and what is it you will be playing?
Cassantor is a Ursus giant barbarian, just a big, lovable idiot. Yep.
Yeah.
I guess we'll leave it at that, right? So, beside Cassantor is the ever mysterious Fade Zamora. Fade, who are you? You are muted, by the way. Who is you, and who is you playing, and what is you playing?
Hi there, I'm Jenny, and I'm playing Fade Zamora. And are you hearing me? Because
I'm hearing you, but you just froze.
Okay.
There you go. You're moving again.
Fade is a Celifern Umbrascion. So it's kind of the ancestry of the Celifern. They have both some devilish background historically and celestial, the race of the Celifern. And she's an Umbrascion, which is kind of the void. So she has very smoky gray black skin that has almost like whirls of smoke through it. Her hair is a deep dark purple. That's not because she's Umbrascion. That's because she is a draconic sorcerer.
Cool.
Excellent. So that's who we have in our session today. The MiniAdventures series is made up of players from our Discord server that if you follow the link that's scrolling across your screen, you'll find the Discord link in there. You can join our Discord community, which is a bunch of geeks sitting around talking geek speak and playing Dungeons and Dragons online and through video chat and through streams. And you can take an opportunity to play in one of our one-shots at any time in the future. So come on by. However, getting into the situation where we're at right now, as I mentioned, Serena, Cassanthor, and Fade were recruited sort of by the Ebb and Rest Inn, sort of and connected to Kreek Snapfang, the kobold that has come into town and made his residency here temporarily. So you guys the introduction happened basically discreetly. We're not doing it through Discord or through roleplay here. You met, basically said there was a job to be done and that he would meet you at a certain place in the morning, and the job would take part then. So basically you rest up for the night. There's strange things going on around Kelpwood to begin with, strange noises and happenings, things being seen in the water. Nobody wanting to go out right now. They're just kind of locked in. Like there is a big storm coming in that they sense. The last one was a doozy, but this one seems to be carrying with it a lot more. You're not sure what. You're not sure if this has anything to do with it. That's how.
We don't know if it's going to rain frogs or what.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. If Thara's really, really PO'd, it might rain frogs. Heck, actually, if she's really mad, it might actually rain moss dancers. That would be a scary thing. So we're going to get things started here. The morning light spills through the broken clouds, painting the marsh in silver and green. The meeting point is the Tidewell Pavilion. It is a wide reed plank platform built on pilings. I think I can do this. I think I can. I just want to show you, because I did hook something up here so that it is usable when needed. Right here. This would be sort of like that area, and there's a dock that goes off to the side. The smell of brine and smoked eel drifts on the breeze. Your recruited marshfolk stand ready, flat-bottomed marsh skiffs beside flat-bottomed marsh skiffs, their oiled leathers and pole hooks gleaming in the light. Kreek's dire weasel companion sits at his side, watching the rippling water below. A painted sign flaps on a notice board. Expedition to the Singing Reeds. Payment in coin, charm, and salvage. With that, how do each of you, do you guys travel together? Are you individual? How do you arrive? How did you prepare? How do you greet the crew that is waiting here? Do you inspect supplies? Do you test the pole boats before leaving? What is it you guys are doing? Serena?
Well, I think she would have come with the other two because they did all meet together. But I think she does. I think she goes over and just checks the boat to make sure it is seaworthy. Or she's fine, even if it's not. But she does make sure for the other two people she's with that probably don't, and she doesn't know if they can swim or not.
Don't have a swim speed.
Yeah, we don't have a swim speed. She wants to make sure that it is buoyant enough and no holes and it hasn't been sabotaged or anything.
Right. By the way, just out of curiosity, you've said that your character is a Selkie.
Yes.
Does your character have a swim speed in her human form also, or only if you turn into a Selkie?
That's a very good question. I know that I have a swim speed of 15 normally, but I think it's better when I'm a seal.
Yeah, I think that's the way it was done up.
I think it's 30 when I'm a seal, but 15 when I'm a human. And she looks completely
that would make
human.
Sense.
The only hint that she's a Selkie is she has her red fur pelt on under her armor. So otherwise, she looks completely human.
Right.
But yeah, I do have a swim speed, which is fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Fade would have probably gone back to her apartment to sleep for the night, gather all her stuff, set everything to writing, just in case, and come back to the inn in the morning to meet Cass and Serena. to join up for this adventure. And when she got there, as far as the boats, not being a big boat person, she probably would not have thought to inspect the boats. She would just trust Kreek, and he had everything in hand and would probably stick.
Do you go around and greet the crew? Do you inspect the supplies instead?
I probably would look, yes, look at the supplies, greet a few and say who she was. And
okay. What about Cass and Thor?
Cass would have definitely met up with Serena and Fade at the inn. On the way to the docks, he would have made sure he had about 3 or 4 smoked eels. It's his favorite snack since coming to Kelpwood. He would introduce himself to everyone on the crew, do his best to remember their names. He won't, but he does his best to be friendly.
So that's what you're going around meeting everybody. So you're the first person. Serena, the skiffs look like they're in great shape. They look like they've been recently mended and taken care of, and the crew, the pole masters to take you out in the canals seem like they're very worthy. Fade, you're not an expert in these things, but you talk to a few folks and you inspect the inventory of your of what you're going to be taking with you on these skiffs, and the supplies are all basically there. There's water skins, there's rope, there's some medicinal pouches that are here. Just the basics. There's ointments and leaf wraps and everything else for bandaging. But there's all kinds of supplies like that. There is basic rations as well that are aboard the skiffs in these piles. So everything seems to be there. For Cass, as you're going around, an individual introduces himself at one point. Let's go to this fellow. A short, broad-shouldered quartermaster named Bran Tull steps forward, a ledger under one arm. Before we pull out, here's what's promised. He says, a share of 25 gold per head if the site yields salvage. Marsh charms, which are small talismans, as you know, that might grant you some help in the future. And first claim rights. Anything you personally recover from the reeds is yours, unless it's part of Kreek's, thing. Which he'll say something if it is. Brand squints at all of you, and once we're out there, there's no turning back without losing face or worse. How do you guys respond to this? Like, do you just kind of get behind the crew? Are the terms agreeable to you? Are you looking for more? These talismans that he has there, like, do you check them out, inspect them for magic? Because he's got them there to give.
Talismans were a little bit magical intrinsically.
Some talisman are, but not all talismans are. So you're not sure about these ones.
Certainly would accept whatever they have to offer.
So you're just
question it.
accepting. So You're good. What about Cass?
Well, Cass is starting to collect a couple more things now since he's in Kelpwood. Came down with a bone necklace, and through one of his ventures, probably about a week, 10, 15 days ago, he has another necklace on. He was given a little lightning bolt-shaped hook for fishing, which he actually attached to another necklace, and has another one on. So he's really starting just to collect the talismans. So he's looking at them, and he's like, that's all I want.
Make me an Arcana check for Cass. Or nature, whichever one's better for you.
Nature. 8.
Okay. You're not sure if they're magical or not, but they're small, and they've got like this weird random, looks like a random pattern in the middle of it, like a circular thing, and it's all wrapped in tight reed material all the way around every piece. Look meticulously done. And there's a little loop at the top for hanging off of either a chain or a piece of leather or whatever that you can do. So I mean, they look interesting. He said, and the guy says, "Well, as promised, there you go." So you each, you're each given one of these, and you've all. And what about you, Serena? What are you doing? Like, Fade, you accept everything, so you are being given this talisman ahead of time. You've accepted it. Cass, you're given the talisman, but you inspect it a little bit more closely. What about Serena? Do you again, you want more money? Do you accept everything? Do you look at the talisman?
Yeah, she's okay with the terms as as given, but I think she will check the talisman because, again, given her background and everything, she wants to know what she's putting on her person, basically.
Of course. Makes sense. So yeah, you can also make an Arcana or Nature check.
All right, let me, because she's not just going to blindly take something unless she checks it first.
Where's the fun of that?
Curses. That's where the fun of that is.
Pshaw.
Right. Okay, so hang on. Let me see. And you said Nature or Arcana. Let's see.
Or Arcana, yeah.
Okay, so that would be a 17.
17. You definitely, as you're inspecting the charm and you're sensing and you're kind of meditating momentarily with this object, this charm, it does have a secondary property. You can trigger it once. It's a one-time use charm. And when it's triggered, you have resistance to all poison damage for 1 hour after use.
Nice.
So you guys all have that. So do you share that with the rest of your crewmate, your companion? Okay.
She will let the other two know what it does.
Oh,
Can you say that one more time?
So you guys, with these charms, they're a one-use item. Once you use it, you have resistance to poison damage for 1 hour after use.
all right.
Oh. Okay.
So that basically helps out. So with that, and you guys accept everything, and everything's been loaded now onto the skiffs, Bran slams the ledger shut and says, "Right then, poles in the water." And the crew fans out to their prospective marsh skiffs, waiting for everybody to load up. And as soon as you guys are, they push off into the winding green channels. Behind you, Kelpwood actually shrinks into a blur of stilt houses and smoke. Ahead, the reeds and mangrove trees sway without wind, and the marsh hums with a promise of more and more secrets. Where is... I'm going to load this up now. I'm having fun with this, loading up images now that it's working properly. Let's put something else in here so you guys can have a look. Where are we? Right here. So the marsh closes in around you as the skiffs glide into narrow green corridors of towering reeds. The water is dark and sluggish, its surface dappled by shifting light from overhanging canopy here and there, and the wind dies completely. The only sounds are the drip of water from the poles and the soft rustle of unseen life out in the reeds. Every so often, silver-flecked ripples cross the surface, vanishing as quickly as they came. The crew glances uneasily at one another, muttering about omens.
Thank you.
How do you guys... where is that? How do you guys guide the skiffs? I mean, you've got the pilot there doing their job. You're kind of directing them in where you want them to take the skiff, to the left, to the right, the straight, so on. Are you encouraging them to go like single file? Are you spreading out to scout both sides of the shore, or some other formation that you guys want to do? Like, what do you guys feel like doing as you're doing this? Like, they're looking to you for direction on how you do it, and you do see ahead of You know, ahead of you guys is the main skiff, which has Kreek on it, and he's just kind of
Okay.
staying off on the right hand side. But if you guys choose to follow right behind, do you fan out? Like, what's the?
Well, Fade
Go
wouldn't
ahead.
presume to tell them, being not familiar with these swamps or how to run a boat or anything. She'd probably just be sitting in the middle, one of the two middle
Okay.
cross. What are those things called? Little seats
Skiff.
in the boat. In the
Yeah,
seats in the boat.
there's some of them don't really have many seats, but you can sit on some of the supplies and the crates there. There are some of them have little benches on them. Like these aren't like a full rowboat. These are like literally like a skiff that someone will stand on to go fishing and pull out into the marsh.
Okay.
What about Serena? Serena, are you giving any direction or just letting them go their route?
Yeah, I think she's actually being very attentive as they're going along. I think she's curious about the silver coloring that pop up every so often, and she's trying to get hers to stay behind creeks. Because again,
Okay.
she's, a little bit more familiar with the area, so she's trying to be like, okay, keeping an eye out for hazards and seeing what this thing is, and just kind of.
All right, I need you to make a survival check.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Does my boon apply my +5 bonus to ability checks? Because I am in the boat.
That was for, sorry, which one? Remind me again of the boon.
It's the Tide Guardian blessing. It says during sea travel, the vessel you're aboard gains a +5 bonus to any ability or check or saving throws made to avoid hazards from storms or rough waters, or is it just in general? Or is it just rough waters?
It's during rough. It's,
Okay.
it's for rougher waters and rough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Right. So you're doing athletics. Cassanthor, what are you doing? Are you guiding them, or are you just following along? Are you, just making sure that they're helping with the pole work at all?
Cass doesn't know the area. He's new here. He also doesn't know. He's good on land. He's not so good on the water. So he would let the pilots take care, but he would be on the lookout for any dangers or anything that could possibly get to us.
Okay. Serena, what did you roll?
That'd be 19.
19. All right. So between you and Cass looking out for dangers, you guys actually do help a little bit with the navigation of the skiffs, helping them bypass some of the worst of the mudflat areas that they don't really notice sometimes because the water is pretty murky as they're going, and you don't want to bottom out the skiff, especially when they're loading with yourselves and with inventory as you go. So you guys do pass intact through this area for sure. Just making sure everything's here. And then as the last skiff clears the shallows, the reeds grow taller. Their stems so thick they almost block the sky. The air grows heavy and still, and somewhere ahead a low, haunting hum begins to thread through the silence. Let us... There we go. The reed channel widens into a shallow basin where the water is glassy and unnaturally still. The towering reeds sway not at all, yet from them rises a low, resonating hum, a note that seems to vibrate in your chest more than your ears. The crew falls silent, some clutching charms, others craning their neck to spot, movement up ahead. And silver motes drift lazily through the air, winking in and out like tiny sparks. You guys are, again, the crew have kind of stopped. You're drifting a little bit. Do you guys allow yourselves to drift closer? Do you tell the poleman to go forward, or just kind of stay here and look out for.
Well, not really having been told anything, would probably follow Kreek's lead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what you're choosing to do. Follow Kreek.
Yep.
Cass is nodding that he's doing the same. Serena.
Yep, I'm doing the same.
Okay. So as Kreek's Pullman goes a little bit forward, and they're going a little bit more slow going, and you draw nearer, you see the reeds are thicker here. Their base is disappearing into black mud. The hum changes pitch as your boat or as your skiff moves, as though responding to your presence. Beneath the water, even though it's dark, again, it's daylight, but the water is very brackish and nasty. But beneath the water, you can see shadows shifting. Something is moving slowly deep under the silt beneath the boat. Through a gap in the reeds, you glimpse worked stone, the corner of a submerged archway, half swallowed by muck. Kreek kind of goes off to the side and motions your skiffs to come up. And he kind of says, "This is where you take over." So with that, what are you guys doing? Like, he's obviously staying behind at this point. Are you guys investigating those reeds that are making the sounds? Are you diving down for the stonework that's down below? What's your intention, Serena? What is your inclination?
So as we got there, you said this hum gets louder.
It's not as louder. It's changing its tone. Almost like as you move, it's like a xylophone. As you move down the thing, the tone changes. It's sort of like that.
Do we know what it's coming from, or is this something we haven't heard before?
It appears to be coming from the reeds. You're not sure 100%. So do you choose to investigate the reeds?
Yeah, I think I'm going to investigate.
You can roll a nature or arcana check.
I think I'm going to investigate that, just because that's curious.
Cass would check out the stonework. He would check out the stonework to see what it is, how deep it goes.
Okay, so for you to get a better look at that, the stonework below, you're going to have to get out of the boat and into the swamp. It looks to be about 3 feet deep.
That's not so bad. I'm 6'8". Yep.
You're good.
Cass will hop out of the boat, head over to the stonework.
Okay, so you're like up to chest, and even though you're big and burly, it's making it a little bit more awkward because it's silt and muck underneath.
Waste for Cass. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. And as you're going into that area and you're seeing it, you're seeing an archway. Like, it seems to be forming almost like a tunnel that the waterway is going towards. But you get up to the stonework, and I need you to make me an investigation roll.
I got a 19, Deacon.
19 on the reed. You realize that hum, it's not caused by the reeds. It's caused by a vibration from something moving under the reeds and the mud.
But I can't tell what.
No.
Okay.
And you feel a vibration on your feet, by the way, Cass, as you're moving towards this thing.
Ooh.
What did you roll?
I got a 17, but -2, so 15.
15. Okay. You do notice that, yes, it definitely forms like an archway, and there is some kind of a ruin under this part of the swamp. You also notice, though, as you're investigating, there is some signs of a recent disturbance. The plants that look tangled, just really out of place. And at one spot, you think it looks like a footprint in the muck, but it's kind of hard to tell in that dark water. Are you doing anything specific, Fade, as well as you're kind of there?
Oh, standing in the boat, watching them do this, having ready to do anything that might need done if something hostile shows up.
So, Cass, you're making your way back to the skiffs?
Yep. Just Kreek. Do you know what any of this is?
Kreek is probably about 60 feet back now. Like, are you yelling back to him?
He'll cast a walk probably about 30 feet back towards, and then just kind of not yelling, but loud enough that Holy Kreek can hear him.
Okay. As you're walking back towards Kreek, the skiffs that you got off and that have these two on it are moving. They've moved past you now towards the archway. Like everything's drifting, everything's slow moving forward. But yeah, you get to that point, and Kreek says, "Honestly, I don't know. I'm just following the roots, and that's why I've hired you guys."
Okay.
Can I roll an insight as to this arch that the water is passing under it?
What are you looking for specifically?
Well, she's reminded of her recent travels and when she and Serena and Passiflora were following a certain few shady-looking characters, and there was a arch over the dock with kind of a carved eye, and it actually moved. And so we thought there was some magic that they were doing to it. It was like watching. And she wonders if this arch might be some sort of entryway.
Roll the insight.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. That is a 16 plus unit, which is 4. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, with a dirty 20, again, you're doing insight, you're getting the feeling. You get the same feeling around this arch as you did about that other one. That there is a connection. You're not sure how, you're not sure why, or anything else, but you feel like there's a connection here between that archway that was there and this one.
Okay. She'd say, Cass, this archway, it kind of reminds me of the one that leads out to the deck of the Golden Road up in the Kelpwood there. It also reminds me a bit of the Prime Gate. Remember you and I? We would travel through and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, you're not getting quite the same feeling as with the Prime Gate, but similar.
Maybe you better get back in the boat.
Cass hurries. He remembers what happens when he gets to the Prime Gate, and he kind of, chugs it along and gets back in the skiff.
You get up to the skiff, and you grab onto the side, and the hum deepens to a bone-rattling vibration. From between the reeds, two shapes rise from the swamp. Hulking forms of water and vine interwoven with ancient marsh grass. The marsh-bound sentinels have awoken, and they bar the way to the ruin. And I'm going to show you. Again, we're using a lot of theater of the mind in this, and as you can see, it's probably moving a lot faster than I intended things to be. I'm going to have to remember that for the future, because this adventure is not going to last 2 hours, most likely. It's going rather quick. So there is
they are neat.
Yeah. Two hulking shapes rise from the water, each towering over the reeds. Their bodies are a fusion of tangled vines, sodden driftwood, and flowing water, glowing faintly with green-blue marsh light The mud and silver flecks swirl around them as they move. Their voices a deep, resonant rumble that blends with the hum of the reeds. Turn back. This place is not for you. The sound vibrates through your bones rather than your ears. How do you guys respond?
Cass just pipes up. Why?
Who's it for then?
Kreek says it is.
Oh my goodness!
The root warden, he says this is where we should be.
I gotta see that. Oh, thank God I've got that other program because I need to look something up here at this point.
I mean,
Nobody should keep anyone from going anywhere. That's not nice.
Oh dear. You guys, sometimes it's so much fun. Right,
yeah, I think Serena's like, well, why not? Again, you know, who should be then?
well, okay. These two great shapes shift slightly. The water spills almost like in streams over their woven limbs. They seem like they're like water's coming up from within them and out and so on. It's almost like recycling itself. The reeds around them sway, though no wind touches them at all. One tilts his head slightly. The marsh light in its chest is pulsing slowly. It is for the singer who knows no breath, the sleeper who dreams beneath the silt. The roots, remember their name, though we do not speak it. You do not belong here yet. And the other leans forward. He's kind of, his voice is a little bit deeper, and it's actually sending ripples across swamp water. Those who come without the calling are swallowed. Those who bear the calling must prove their claim or join the silt. Glad I looked that up because I wouldn't have remembered that.
I will say, when she is speaking very politely.
Yep.
Okay.
The sleeper, what now? She says.
I was trying to write it down too, didn't get it all.
Yeah, it's for the singer who knows no breath, the sleeper who dreams beneath the silt,
The sleeper who dreams beneath the silt. Okay.
the roots remember their name, though we do not speak it. And then they said, you don't belong here yet.
Their name.
We need the calling. What's the calling?
Have we ever heard this before? Do we
No,
know what this is? Okay.
nope, not at all. And then the other one just added, those who come without the calling are swallowed. So you guys can make an insight check on that if you want.
All right. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Casual.
Swallowed. All right.
19.
19 also.
Nat 20. Yay. I don't know that.
You're kind of observing them, and you're observing their shifting postures. This isn't a generic warning. Like, you guys know that you guys have encountered programmed warnings, things that this, you get here, this is what happens. The calling seems to be a genuine spiritual summons, something that the marsh itself recognizes, and not just about knowing a certain phrase or holding a token. It's a resonance, a right to be here that the guardians can somehow sense, and these beings are not lying to them. Without the calling, you're trespassers right now.
Well, how do you know we don't have the calling? Perhaps I don't even know if I have the calling.
So Fade, you're continuing to negotiate or talk. I'm
Yes.
assuming?
Yes.
Okay. Make me a persuasion.
Am I allowed to assist her in this?
Yes.
Because I'm very good at persuasion.
So what? So then I roll it at advantage.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Still, my first roll was better. It's a dirty 20.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
They kind of, after a while, you're having a conversation with the pair of them, and Serena, you're adding in a few things here and there, and Cass, you're kind of watching all of this, and you're hearing that hum and that resonance, and it's kind of funny. For a few moments during that conversation, Fade's voice disappears and becomes one with that sound, with that resonance that she's when she's conversing with this creature, and you see the sentinels physically kind of stand back and stand down. We will let one of you pass.
Well,
that's what.
But we all need to go.
So
We will let
can,
one pass.
since they seem to respond to Fade, can she get the other two guys to switch over to the other boat and go on her own?
At this point, they've literally locked. They step back away from you, but they're right in front of the entrance to this tunnel entrance.
Oh.
We will let one pass.
Guys, I'll go. If you want me to, I'll go.
Well, I don't want any of us to go alone, but I don't think we have a choice. Cass is kind of just swaying back and forth, trying to match the movements of the guardians.
Yeah, you're doing that. I mean, to Serena, everything is very peaceful right now and is going quite well.
Mm-hmm.
That you're experiencing,
Mm-hmm.
and Cass, you're kind of a peaceful, loving person, knowing that this could switch at any moment. Fade, you have some darker thoughts on occasion, and knowing that there is a way to get your friends past, but it will result in a combat where you'd have to take these things out.
I think.
Yeah, she doesn't like that idea because she sees these things as part of the marsh, and she promised that she was going to keep the marsh the way it is.
I think Serena looks at Fade, looks at Cass, and then back at Fade. Are you sure you can handle whatever is up ahead? I'm not particularly happy about separating all of us, but
If I'm meant to be here, then fate will have me prevail.
Does someone have a something that grants visions or a token or an item? I thought one of you might have had something like that.
Look, I know she has
something to do with premonitions or.
I do not. I just have my Smallpoker's lure.
Ah.
No. Yeah, I don't think Serena.
Okay. Well, Serena, I need you to make me an insight check.
Okay.
At disadvantage.
Okay. No worries.
And also I have written down that Fade has is that she's keeper of the last first title. Once per long rest, reroll a failed charisma, performance, or persuasion check involving sailors, spirits, or seafolk. But I didn't fail one, so it's good. I'm glad I
22.
didn't say.
Okay, that's with
That's with disadvantage.
disadvantage. Holy crapola. Okay.
That's good.
She's good at things.
with the one rumbling the last time, because they keep repeating that, we'll let one through. The deep voiced one, the hum resonates the water, and you definitely see almost like a mini wave passing by the skiffs as you go. And as it passes by your skiff, Serena, you get this ominous feeling that perhaps it's not wise to go alone, or you're not sure what might lie beyond here. But this is definitely an unknown.
Okay. I think she'll look over at Fade. I would not advise going alone. I just wouldn't. And then she'll look at the two creatures. And may I roll persuasion to see if I can get them to allow all three of us to go by. And
Cass will help Serena if he can.
Yep. Yeah, let's try that.
and I'm
I'll
looking
let
at
you
my
know the
thing.
DC is incredibly high, considering Fate had already been answered.
Yep, I understand. Question.
Yep.
Do these either... So hang on, let me look at the other thing. They are creatures of the marsh, right?
Yes, they are creatures of the marsh.
Okay. Would my boon allow me to no, wait,
You'll get a plus. Yeah, you'll get a +5 when dealing with them.
Okay. That's
So
good.
yeah,
And I get
you'll probably be fine.
Oh, I'll be fine. I know.
With advantage.
It was a vintage. Sweet. Okay. So that's let's add everything up. Okay. So 16 plus 7, 8, 9, 20, 28.
You beat it. And with that, you see them start to kind of slowly step apart. With the waters are now still, and they've almost blended back right into the reeds. Whether by force or by diplomacy, the way is open. The submerged archway looms before you, its stones etched with ancient spirals, and inside lies what Kreek is looking for, perhaps more.
I think she looks back at the other two. I believe it is now safe for all of us to enter.
So do we have to get rid of the polars that
You're
were
not-
along? And
It looks
go on
like
the
they
boat?
might be able to go in a little bit, or you might have to go on foot and go, neck deep in water, all depending on.
I'd rather try the boat.
The skiffs could probably go in there by themselves to start with. But yeah, so as you guys get there, the water around the archways you're kind of having to really brace yourself and get under this arch as it goes in. And slipping inside, you do find yourself in a partially submerged chamber of ancient stone. Spiral carvings line the walls, glistening with algae. Shafts of light pierce through gaps in the ceiling, illuminating drifting schools of tiny silver fish. In the center of the chamber lies a pedestal of black asphalt. Half buried in the silt, resting atop it is a fragment of worked crystal, shaped like 1/3 of a circular key. Faint ruins pulse around it. And it It's sort of not 100%, but sort of like this.
Oh.
How do you guys like? You're just coming in the entrance. This is ahead of you. How are you guys approaching?
Very carefully.
So you're being
Can
cautious.
we? Yeah. Can we reach out with like a staff or something and lift that key off there? Is it too heavy?
Well, you're still quite a ways away. Like you're still like 40 feet away from the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're just at the entrance, and there's this massive chamber, and off in the middle of it, you're still a ways away.
You said there were glyphs on the walls. Do we recognize?
There's spirals. There's
Okay.
all. It's just like they could be glyphs, but they all to you guys they all look like spirals.
Okay.
But you did say you approach cautiously as you guys are still drifting in.
Yeah.
Make me a perception check.
All right.
All of us?
All of it?
Yeah.
Oh, 12.
17 for Fade.
Okay.
23.
Okay. So that is a success as a group. You guys do manage to get your skiffs up alongside this pedestal, and you can see this fragment that is on the thing. Yeah, it's a fragment of worked crystal.
And you
Looks
said
like
there
some
were
kind of
you said there were runes around it as well.
there's faint ruins that they're actually on the circular key, the crystal, the fragment of the crystal. It has these ruins that are pulsing softly from within it.
Cass will cautiously reach out for it, just because
Okay.
it looks pretty. So he's like, "Ooh!"
So you reach out, and you grab it, and as it's lifted, the hum from the reeds that was going outside falls silent. The silver motes drift in the water faster, swirling briefly around you, Cass, around your skiff, and then they scatter as if they were actual things in the water. Outside, you hear some of the crew that were left with the others, because only one skiff fit in there that you're in. So you guys are all three in the one thing.
Mhm.
And
That's
the
what I
other
was
crew
thinking.
outside. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how you had gotten in here. But yeah, so you transferred onto one skiff, and one skiff has made it into the edge,
Right.
and the others are outside, and you can hear the crew hauling their poles up, and just kind of you hear them calling in. You guys hurry! It's creepy out here. We need to get back. I just want to get paid and go home. But in the dark water beneath the ruin, you can feel the rumble. You can see the water churning. Something stirs, too deep to see, but large enough to send a ripple through the water. Do you guys take the key and leave? Do you keep checking out the room? Do you mark the site for something, or for return, or pay tribute, something like?
Did Kreek give us any hint of that this key was what we're after?
Yep.
Okay. So since that's what we came to do, I would suggest let's get back out of here now. Fast. We can come back if we ever wish to explore more.
Is there anything else of note in the room as Serena's looking around?
You're not
Just
really
giving it a
sure.
quick-
Most of it's underwater. You do see it looks like there's tunnels under the water going into maybe other places in these ruins. But they're, again, most of them are underwater completely. So yeah, it'd be hard to access them right now with all of you.
Weird question. Can the two of you swim?
Oh, I can swim. Cass
Possibly.
doesn't have a swim speed, but Cass can swim. Yeah, I'll go swim.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very curious about what's down there. But I'm not gonna leave you two. So
If you need to go look, you can go.
Yeah, you can take a look under the water.
Yeah.
So, do you transform and
yeah.
ship?
I think she's
I'm
gonna
not
be
a
like,
good enough swimmer to try it.
I will be right back. Keep an eye out
Okay.
for anything that goes wrong, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And she'll take off her armor that she normally has to do, right?
Yep, and
And
you
you
do
see
it.
her jump into the water and turn
All of
into
a sudden,
seal.
a seal slips into the water.
Whoa.
Make me an investigation check at disadvantage as you're swimming about the water.
She has to go check. I'm sorry. She has to go check.
It is probably one of the worst places you've ever swam in this murky, mucky.
Investigation, you said? Okay.
Yep.
I am glad my investigation is pretty high. That would be a 19.
Okay, with a 19, you kind of zip about. You see those little motes, by the way, those silvery light motes flitting about. They're almost like they're underwater fairies. It's weird. They never get close enough for you to actually check them out, but it's just got this weird vibe to it as you're down there. And you see these other tunnels leading out. There is some exploration that can be done here. Definitely, it might be a place to return. Knowing more about how you have to get in and prepare yourself for what is to come might be an idea. But as you're going about, you do see in the one corner there is an old, looks like a half rotted crate, still closed at the top, but it looks like it can be literally hand crack the top off of it.
Would it be possible to do so in my seal form?
No, you'd have to change and stand there. You can stand in the water. The water in here is about 2.5 feet deep, 2 feet. It's hard for you to swim in some spots. You have to actually go around mud, mounds of mud.
And is that spot accessible to the other two, or is it?
Yeah,
just
the
to me
skiff can go over there.
Okay.
Get to the corner.
I think she'll go back up and tell them about the crate.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's a crate in the one corner.
So
you're told.
Castle.
Like,
push
you
the
can
skip
easily.
over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Work to push the
When I'm
skip there.
under. When I was under, did I see it was doing the rumbling, or is it just the sea motor?
No, you can.
I see.
They're not doing anything other than floating through the water.
Okay.
But that rumbling is from beneath the silt. That's beneath your feet. There's something down there. In the marsh.
So she'll come back up to the surface and get back on the skiff and shift back to human and put her armor back on. That was
so you guys managed to you get back to the corner and Cass, you help kind of get down on the water and you get this crate and it's nearly falling apart by the time you get it onto your skiff. It pulls out 50 gold pieces of coin, at least, and they're ancient coins. They all have those little spiral symbols on them.
Cool.
You've actually, Serena, make me a history check.
Okay.
As you see this.
Yeah. Let me roll. Okay. History is. So that was a 22.
These are actual currency that is very old in the Seahorse Isles. It's because as you know, most of the time you use like shell marks and everything else for your currency. But there was a time that there was a great emperor beneath the sea, and he had a mint, designed and made where he could mass produce these coins of gold and other materials, metal materials, to use in on the mainland. So they're probably a couple hundred years old,
Neat.
at least.
Oh, those are pretty.
Cool. These are very old.
Shall we split the spoils?
Sure, I'm okay with
I
that.
think that's what we're allowed to do.
So what we get each
Okay,
I think
16,
about something you run
Cass gets 17.
Mhm.
Yeah. And do you guys each take your turn and start heading back?
Yes.
Yeah, Castle used the pole for the skiff. Use strength.
That was
he
the
needs to go
most-
faster.
That was the most
Okay.
disgusting water I think I've ever been in.
Yeah, it wasn't very pleasant.
It is pretty gross.
It's like getting it off
As your
skin at the
skiff
moment.
glides back towards Kelpwood and you've reunited with the others, and you've kind of handed over the key, you notice the tide is unnaturally high for this time of the day, pushing in from the deeper marsh. Somewhere far off, a low boom echoes, like something massive shifting in the deep channels. This is beyond the ruins. You hear a boom from beyond into the marsh. And once you're back in town, you start hearing things being whispered around the docks. And as you're coming back up and settling things out, is you hear it probably 2 or 3 times, the phrase, "The marsh has been stirred." That's what you hear. And unfortunately, because I really streamlined this, that's it. We've ran through part 1 of the shallow stir.
Well, we
not
didn't
expecting-
battle.
Well,
We took
that's
our way out.
well, you did talk your way out. You didn't have a battle. That really quickened it a lot. The other thing is too is without me having to go 15 million different places to switch screens, it was really streamlined that I can now just throw up an image on the screen and go, "That's what you see." It makes it so much better
Okay.
that way.
Yeah.
So you guys each are given 25 wool pieces plus what you found.
Okay.
You did complete by giving this fragment to Kreek, and he does explain to you that there will be more expeditions because there's 2 more pieces to this.
Ooh.
So
To the
Fade will take the 16 gold of the ancient emperors that we found in the crate, and you two can have the 17.
Okay.
And then you said they gave us 25 each? For the
yes,
Okay.
and you're all allowed to keep that talisman, by the way.
Nice. Marsh.
Another one for the collection.
And the talisman is one you said for 1 hour. It gives resistance to poison?
Resistance to poison, yes.
And
Once
that's just
used.
once, not once a day.
Yeah.
It's just once. It's a
One-time
one-time use. And you guys did not do combat, but still through the role play, and considering also through the build-up role play through the Discord for part of this, you guys get 600 experience points each.
Sweet.
Okay.
It would have been double if you would have fought those guys.
Ah!
Yeah, normally I would have thought, okay, fight them, but they just look so cool. I didn't want to fight them.
I mean, Cass can get angry, but he doesn't want to fight people.
And Serena doesn't like to fight people, and she has absolutely no other choice. So this is the perfect party for her.
So the one pole man that was with your boat is right here.
And he gets 25 gold.
Oh no, they're paid separate.
Oh,
Okay.
And then this.
well,
is
he didn't
another
go
person.
into the temple, so yeah, we get paid more for the danger.
Oh, hey.
Ooh.
That's a red type.
They tiny
Right?
though.
No, I think he's a gold
Really,
gold
it's a
person.
gull.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're tiny, small, and their pole is like really long, and it pushes. And she's a tough old broad. Let's just put it that way.
Ah,
So
I believe it.
that's the crew that you were kind of traveling around with. But yeah, so those watching, guys, I'm sorry, that was a short episode of MiniAdventures number 20. I'll have to remember to kind of stretch it out the next time. And I think because we've been talking about switching over to more of an old school type of game where it's theater of the mind, and I can just use images rather than have to do a battle map every time. I think it actually works out really quick this way and allows for smoother. So I can now maybe include a couple of extra scenes when doing these quests and designing them. So I'll have to remember that for episode 2 of this, part 2, to get the other part of the key. Because Kreek wants the key to the under. That's important for him, anyway.
So we give that key. We gave that key to Kreek then.
The part of the key,
Kreek
yeah.
the key. The crystal.
Yes. It's a circular, it looks like a 1/3 of a pie, but it's a piece of, and it's clearly some kind of a key to be set into something. It's a key fragment. And you do kind of hear it also when you hand it over in his hands. It starts to kind of quietly resonate the same hum as the marsh around it.
She would ask Kreek, why when I spoke to them and they then let us 3 in, why did it seem like my plea was resonating with the hum that we heard underneath our feet?
Oh, he looks at you rather nonchalantly, and you got the calling.
I did have the calling.
Well, at that moment you did.
So what exactly is the calling?
Kreek's thinking for a moment on how to answer. Well, and he looks at you, and Serena, he says, "Do the waves have a voice?"
Depends, I suppose.
As with me, roots have a voice. Well,
Makes
the marsh has a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And when it calls, you either answer or you don't.
That I understand.
I had just arrived in Mistwood and discovered a secret hideout for some robbers, artifact robbers. And through following them and defeating them, I found something, and I received the call from the roots.
Mm-hmm.
And I followed that call, and now I'm a root ward.
Fade nods, says, I feel a calling. I don't know what it is, but I've been following it since I left home.
Sometimes callings come quick, fast. Sometimes it takes a lifetime to meet their end. And with that, you guys are now back in Kelpwood. Safe and sound, a little bit richer, a little bit wiser. Still not sure what's going on around the town, but you are arriving back early morning, probably after 3rd bell. tomorrow
Mhm.
is when your characters will officially be arriving back. So it's kind of a break session.
So Fade would make sure to talk to Serena and said, we should go around to the bazaar and maybe back to the Barnacle Barge today and see if anything happened last night. We saw that boat, that skiff,
Mhm.
moving through and nobody else was out and about.
I'm curious about that skiff myself because it didn't have anything distinguishing about it, but it was unusual that it just.
Well, you did have a perception roll that you
Yes.
didn't roll.
I did roll perception and got a nat 20 on it, but
Was that for the skiff scene?
I think so, yes. But at that point, I was also in transition of something going on,
Okay,
so I posted it a little later. When I
Okay.
said this is the roll, I
So
knew it.
you did notice a blue-green piece of fabric
Ooh, okay.
tied to one of the poles of that skiff that was being pushed along.
Okay.
So if you share it, I think others have found strips of or pieces of a blue-green cloth in different places.
I think she would. She would have told Fade because they were kind of working together. So I think she would have told Fade she saw the blue-green cloth.
So you guys do piece together over the course of the evening and talking about what's going on or what had happened. There is somebody or something behind the scenes that is running about in Kelpwood doing something either for purpose or for maybe for benevolence, it may be for malice. You don't know what you don't know what's behind it, but you know something or somebody that's tied together is moving about town, involving themselves in something, and it's got the townsfolk are afraid of the upcoming storm, but they're taking extra precaution and not speaking about things publicly.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them, no persuasion is really getting much out of them.
Yeah.
They've literally shut down, and except for the warning you got from Maeva going, sometimes explaining things will cause just as much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So it's best to be quiet about it, is what she was basically saying.
That's what she said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of
More danger if we know, and I took that, Fade took that as to mean either we'd be more danger for knowing more than we did before, or we'd be putting them in danger for telling us what we should know.
Yeah,
One
either
of the
or, you
two,
never
or
know.
both. Yeah,
Or both.
right.
So obviously somebody or something is watching them or sensing them at this point, and you're not sure what or why or how, or not sure even if you will. It just one of those occurrences. It seemed to be regulars of the town just seemed to know what to do during these situations, and it was just like they didn't have to be told. It was the outsiders that were kind of okay, and then most of them just ended up either back at the Barnacle, or when the Barnacle says ship out, they ended up at the admin rest, or in their homes, and that's where most people have ended up this evening, or the last evening.
Yeah,
you guys have gone out in the morning. So let me know at any given time if you guys choose to use any of those materials that I have uploaded, whether it be foraging or hunting or fishing or whatever you want.
Foraging and fishing,
or herbalism and alchemy and poisons and all that other kind of fun stuff. There is, as I said, there's a full set of rules there for it now.
Fade's going to start with her downstairs neighbor. She's going to go down.
That's actually
have the net mender teach her how to mend nets.
Well, yeah, because there's also the rules that we have in place now too for the skill progression. So you guys can actually learn to do more than what your characters start off with at first
Nice.
level.
Cool.
So that's one of the rules that we sat at that with bounced off of Jenny there at that one point. Where is it in the? I think it's in the starter downloads.
I think I saw the download, but I don't know if I actually downloaded it. I'll have to look.
Gods of Answers Before. No, I don't have that one in there. So maybe it is in. I've got too many places for things, and I'm trying to put it all back together in other areas. Shots, extras. Oh yeah, it's in under free stuff and extras. It's the dynamic skills learning system. You can actually learn more languages and new skills, even though you're normally supposed to be set in stone. But because this is a 24-hour, like a 24/7 live role play situation, you can actually learn more. Kind of makes sense. Extra things.
That's cool.
You can also create scrolls and healing potions and fun, wonderful stuff. So, anyway, sorry that it was a quick one, guys. Hoping it would take a little bit longer than an hour.
That's funny. This tonight when I have plenty of time instead of having to run off early. then
And I
we're
actually
short.
have time. And I have time myself and actually join the adventure tonight.
Yeah. Cool.
Hey, this means we can just RP in the Discord, right?
Yeah, well, you guys can actually at this point, because you can, if you really want in the Discord, you can role play this situation right now. What just happened didn't happen yet. You do have a meeting with Kreek at the Eben Rest. Basically, introduce himself to you guys. Tells you what he needs. He needs his key fragment, and that
So we can RP that.
Yeah, or not.
No, okay.
As I said, I'd rather have that just kind of done off out of the behind the scenes.
Okay.
So other players don't see it's just kind of an awkward introduction sequence. But you do get to be introduced to Kreek the Kobold and his little dire weasel companion Emberfang, that he calls Ember, and he's quite the interesting.
She would ask Kreek if he was originally from Kelpwood.
Kreek and Emberfang. Actually, no. Kreek is actually from the lands of. He tells you the lands of Elsafia.
Elsafia.
Far to the west, as you know, is the violent, warlike.
I cut through there briefly on my way south before I came to the Scarlet Grove. I wish I had avoided it entirely.
He lived in the Warrens there, and he fled there to greener lands in the Scarlet Grove, in the Middlelands, and then ended up in Mistwood, and then that's when his life took a turn. So,
okay,
yeah,
I was just curious because the cook already knew him, but maybe she just recognized the wardenness and had already.
You guys all pick up that there are some townsfolk that know Serena and acknowledge her right off the bat.
Okay.
Not all, but some.
Fade hasn't picked up on that yet.
No.
They
And
figure she just got here. She's a newbie like she is.
From spiritual types, your Kreek is given like the same kind of dignity that a lot of their priestesses and that do. Even though he definitely does not look like a priest of any kind, at least none that you've seen before.
But he's wearing that crown thing.
And he's got this thorny thistle crown on his head, and he's got patches and stuff on his arms and armor, and where was
a weird light in his eyes.
Nice. I had that pulled up, and I'm wondering if it's still showing there.
Why am I echoing?
I did pull it up here. I asked for a description of Kreek. Yeah, I lost it. I don't know where it went.
And she's not crushing you at all, by the way, Fade. Just so you know. Oh, you said you think she's a newcomer? She's not correcting you.
Oh, okay.
But again, that's usually the way she is. She's not really. She doesn't come off as a noble. She doesn't come off as someone everybody here knows. Even though she is getting acceptance, she is getting recognition, and she will nod back in recognition to them, depending on who it is. But there is a difference that she acts like with Cass and with you and with Oswald and Pastor Flora than she is possibly acting with townsfolk.
So I'll just give you guys a description from when you because you guys have now met him. Kreek is a small but striking figure. He's a rust-furred cobalt with keen amber eyes and a presence that feels older than his years. His cloak is stitched from living root fibers, and his armor bears bark-ringed plates, marking his sworn root warden oath. A spiraling green and gold tattoo climbs his left arm, an unbroken vine alive with actual movement, although faint, signifying the grove's claim on him. Known as the first master of the verdant circle, Kreek has walked the wild paths of the scorched pine warrens to the marshes of Kelpwood, awakening ancient trees and freeing forgotten waters. Despite his size, he carries himself with calm purpose, twin enchanted short blades at his belt, and speaks with the steady confidence of one who listens to the land before acting. Emberfang, or Ember as he calls him, or calls her, Kreek's constant companion, is a predator bonded to him through the Beastmaster's path. Sleek-furred, sharp-eyed, and perfectly attuned to the marsh and to nature, Ember moves with a whisper through undergrowth and water alike. In battle, the two fight as one. Kreek strikes, opening space for Ember's decisive lunges. The bond between them is visible in every coordinated movement. Though formidable when threatened, Ember's watchful demeanor suggests intelligence and loyalty as deep as the roots of the oldest cypress. Around strangers, she's quiet, but always aware her gaze is measuring intent before allowing approach. So that gives you the picture of what...
Now, Ember is a dire weasel, a young one, right? Because when she grows up, she's going to be bigger than Kreek.
Yeah, she will be. She's younger, but yeah, when she's full grown, she'll be slightly bigger than Kreek. Like Kreek's 3 feet tall. Ember is probably 2 feet. You know what I mean, right now, and that's pretty big. For a weasel, but no, she's a dire weasel. So, yeah, she will eventually grow.
Fade is 5'9". She's tall, thin.
You're almost double Kreek's height, so he looks up at you. And
Cass is like 6'8", 400 pounds, looking all the way down.
I think Serena's like 5'1".
Tiny, yeah.
Yeah.
And Ember does not show any fear towards anybody, no matter how big or small. This dire weasel just got heart. Whatever else it may be lacking, it's got heart. It will stand up for anything for Kreek. And some of you have actually, think, Serena, you've met Kreek before in Mistwood.
Yep.
You've also met Kreek's, I don't know what you'd call her. I don't know whether you call her, no, she's not really a ward. Well, she is kind of a ward, kind of his ward and companion and friend. Thalera. The other character that was in the adventure with that you ran, that's Thalera. That's his right hand. She's actually part of a faction from the Scarlet Grove, where he's a root ward. So it's a big difference. So yeah,
it's possible Fade would have maybe met Thalera, but I don't know that she would have met Kreek while she was hanging out in Scarlet Grove between her two forays into the Prime Gate.
Generally not, because Kreek Kreek's kind of been off on his own, doing his own thing. He's been on the other side of the Mistwood Forest.
Right.
Just
saying
where
she
the
might have
bushes
met
go.
Thalara if she was in the Scarlet Grove while she was hanging out in there.
Yeah, and Thalara's also been in and around Mistwood for a bit here and there. So
Okay, then maybe not. Yeah.
but yeah, she did the adventure with Cass and Thor, and I don't know who else was with us when we did Lorelai, when we did your quest. It was
Garrett.
me and-
It was you, Garrett, Ace doing Oswald, and
Dave.
Cass.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, they've all met Thalara. So yeah,
Luca met
she's
Thalara, not Fade.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was Luca was the one that met her.
For sure, I think. Pretty sure. Where is I'm trying to find her, but I can't.
Didn't fight with her, but met her.
Oh, yeah. What does this look like?
Home.
That's Fade's house.
That's
Fade
what
lives
you
upstairs.
said. So the upper one is Fade's apartment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's Fade's apartment up at the top floor.
Mm-hmm.
Cass lives at the inn.
And there's Kreek's house.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit. He's in Swamp Shade though. He's
Mhm.
not near Croakmire or that. He's Swamp Shade. He's further out. He's actually
Swamp
past
Shade east or west?
Swamp Shade is to the west.
West. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Basically, you go Croakmire, and then once you get to Swamp Shade, you have like the Moon Kelp Playhouse, which is like a floating theater. And then just beyond that is like the darker, some darker walkways and deckings, and then you have an area like this where you can actually see Kreek's house from the playhouse, and Kreek can see the playhouse back and forth. But yeah, that's his place.
Cool.
Oops, where did he come from?
He's going back
Yeah,
on the
like
skiff.
Yeah, it's the guy from the skiff.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen Laszlo's silt gut, correct, Cass? You know who you're
Yeah.
dealing with.
Yes.
Laszlo's
That
the
fellow.
bog caller.
Yeah,
He's
this
the
guy, right?
voice of the bazaar.
That guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a. What's his race?
That's Laszlo. Laszlo's great.
Laszlo, he's a bog caller.
A bog caller. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are the smaller frog-like ones called?
Dancers.
Smaller frog-like ones are moss dancers. They're more colorful.
Yeah.
Passiflora.
Whipper- yeah,
Yeah.
bog callers end up are kind of like a cross between a toad and a lizard. They're generally are kind of bulkier,
Taller.
rougher.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like there's been an evolutionary chain, because you still have bollywugs. They still exist. They actually they're all over Kelpwood.
And what are
they're
bollywugs
used-
again?
They're basically a bog collar, but very primitive. They haven't
Okay.
really developed, right? They're used a lot for labor around Kelpwood and for other things, assistance and whatnot. They're taught basics. They're almost like a pet to some. The evolution was bog collar, and then you had for some reason moss dancers are more like tree frogs or jungle frogs. They're a little bit more delicate than a toad. But yeah,
Cool.
that's the main difference between them. So kind of, yeah. Oops. Let's Serena back on there. Just lost you.
Oh.
Kick.
Yeah, because we did a lot. We figured a lot of stuff out. Don't know where this all came from, but yeah, I'll have to figure it all out. But yeah, if you guys want to, you guys can continue role playing in the Discord. I don't think I have. I might have one more post. Actually, let me check and see if I've got one saved up for the bells. Actually, I've got the bells already planned out all the way up to the 12th bell.
Mhm.
at least the outline of. I haven't detailed any of them really yet, or at least not a lot of them, but I've got some of them done. It is, what time is it now? 8:30.
Yeah.
It's almost 10th bell.
Mhm.
Which I mean it's at the Wave Throne Hall Causeway, so that's kind of outside the Wave Throne Hall, which is the main hall. So I will be posting that.
Mhm.
In about 20 minutes I'll post it,
Okay.
Mhm.
so I can work out the details. But you guys can role play in the ebb and rest if you
Mhm.
want. Currently, there is really you can get a drink still and food at the bazaar or at the barge, but there's just Mava there.
Mhm.
She doesn't seem to be leaving anywhere.
When is the storm hitting?
They're not sure.
Hmm.
They say all they
Okay.
keep saying is soon. It's coming.
Okay.
Soon. TM.
Gotta love that.
If it even does. Like storms can go past, right?
They can may or not hit us. You know.
I'm surprised that there's not anybody at the tavern with Mava.
Most people have been either sent home or gone home willingly.
Okay.
Like everything in town, it looks like even the houses, a lot of them have been battened down, preparing for like storm winds or high waters or whatever. You do see a few people out making last minute repairs to the stilts of their homes, making sure that they've been reinforced and there's enough.
Fade would definitely, when she gets home, go down and talk to the net mender and ask, what do we do to prepare for the storm? Can you show me?
Yeah, the net mender will, because they're basically your landlord. That's who you're paying your rent to. They show you where the tie downs are for the windows and the doors and how to secure everything. You're instructed on all that. It takes a little bit of time to kind of figure it out. But you are told to prepare for the storm. But again, there is this, even with the net mender, there's this underlying feeling that you're getting that there's something that they're just not saying by choice. They're choosing not to say it. And other than the fact they slip up a couple of times mentioning things like sometimes storms bring more than just waves. Little comments like that kind of just slip under the radar, and it's like they catch themselves and just go back to their conversation as they're instructing you and showing you things and how to tie basic knots and that fun kind of information. So if that makes any sense. So, all right, guys, I am going to log out because I am going to get to work on doing this last 10th bell. I'm not going to do anything past that because I need to go to bed. So I'm going to prepare this 10th bell wind down. And then tomorrow I'll do another posting as early as possible so that you guys can react to different scenes and figure out what's going on. So what's happening now is I've been using, and as you can, there's been a lot of I'm posting a lot of scenes. So, and every scene has some kind of hook in it. So, I mean, I've got my own tables that I've got random hook generators that kind of help me to say what's going on, what can I do. But I don't want to start getting to the point where I'm repeating the same hook over and over and over again in different things. And because we're in a very limited area, I mean, I have a lot, but I don't want to get to that point. So right now, what I've decided to do is once per day, instead of having 12 different scenes that I have to do a hook for, I have one main hook for the town. It may involve just the village, so it might be Croakmire only. It might be Swamp Shade only. It might be, Mud Hollow only, and so on. Or it could be all of Kelpwood, or it could even be something a little bit more regional. And again, I roll that with dice randomly. What's it going to be? And then it starts off, and I choose which scene by rolling a d12.
Mhm.
That's the scene, the main scene of the day. So if it's the first scene or the second scene or the 12th scene, it's there. And every other scene, I now kind of tie in with it one way or another.
Okay, I'll watch for that.
So, and if it's like, if you're, let's say it's the event, main event is 8th scene, everything today before the scene, the main, which was, I think, 5th. So for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, there was all kind of brief mentions of things leading up to that. And then after that event happened, the main one, then people were kind of looking back on it now that this has happened already. It's transpired. So it's in a way it's easier for me. In a way it's more complicated because I got to keep the time frame kind of at play. But it's easier because I'm not wasting adventure hooks constantly. I'm just throwing them out there. And now that you're here, time, because you were asking about time, how we figure out time. Bells are not set at a specific time. They're an approximation during the day of, first bell might be 8 a.m. It might be 7:30 a.m. the next day. It might be 8:45 one day. It's the person who's ringing the bell and the feelings that they're getting. So that's when they ring the bell. So it's just a progression of the day. But in a channel, when I tag at players, so when I tag everybody, that is a timestamp. So, for example, if I did first bell at the Ebb and Rest, I would do at players and I would do the first bell scene at the Ebb and Rest. You can react to that scene. You can continue on with that scene. You can do anything you want as time goes on. But now let's say second bell time comes around and it's going to be over at the Barnacle Barge. I timestamp the Barnacle Barge for second bell. You can still role play first bell stuff in the Ebb and Rest, but the minute you go to the Barnacle Barge, it's whatever timestamps above it. So you'd be in second bell cycle by then.
Okay.
Or fifth bell is now over at the Playhouse. So you get there, it's that timestamp of the day. So general rule of thumb is use your current time that it's at. Figure out what's the most active scene. And I've been trying to post that in the chat now, in general chat. I'll post active scene is here. So the most active scene, but there are other places. And anything that's not timestamped by me already first that day is fair game. It's yours. You go in there. If no one, there's been no activity in a certain place today, during tomorrow's the 6th, if there's no activity in a certain place, you can role play whenever you get in there. Just kind of remember the time that you're getting in there at. Right. So that's how time generally is working. We're doing it per channel and time stamping it based on if I update it. And that's the other thing is too. So if you're in the Barnacle Barge and I've done a thing and you guys are responding it and we're doing a whole thing, but if I have another bell scene come up that has to be played at a certain time, I'll play it in that channel of the Barnacle Barge, but now that updates everything. So basically previous role play kind of stops and then you continue on where we're at right now with the new scene. So it's just following suit with it. That's all. Just kind of follow my timestamps, follow my lead, and that's the active channel, and then have fun and everything else in the meantime.
All right.
So, yeah. And explore. Have fun with some of the foods and the clothing and other goodies you might find around town.
Smoked eel.
Yeah, you and your smoked eel. Yeah, it's becoming a thing for Cass, isn't it?
I'm picturing it as like I can't get a word, like a kebab. There's like a stick with the eel stuck on it. They're amazing.
Him and Passiflora. Passiflora loves it too.
There's some that is like eel jerky. It's in strips. And then there's some where they take the fillets of the eel and they coil it around the stick and they roast it on a fire. Or sometimes they'll smoke it that way. So it's prepared in different ways, different spices. Some vendors do one way, another vendor does another way. And Kaz is starting to pick that up, that some people happen to like that vendor more than this vendor, but why? Well, let's find out.
The spices.
And you do know that Laszlo Siltgut has already told you, Cass, that he has jobs for you. Whenever you want work, he has things for you to do. He kind of did explain the fact that sometimes you need a scalpel, sometimes you need a hammer. Some things need to be subtle, some things just need to be in your face. If it's kind of in your face and blunt, he'd call on you. There you go. He's not going to call on you for stealth or subtlety or anything like that. So
no,
that is not.
But you are now well known to him in your thing. Fade, you've just been kind of there. You've been noticed, but really,
Fade's got a friend, Clarence the fishmonger.
Yeah, there's probably a few friends that Faye's got around, but she still keeps to herself. Serena, out of the three of you, is probably the most well-known amongst the townsfolk. Some openly acknowledge her with respect. Some turn their eyes away, almost like they're ashamed of her or something. No one has said anything in Kelpwood ever completely negative. But you yourself, Serena, would know that there are some people that still don't interact with you because you are who you are.
Yep.
Then you have people that want to interact with you because you are who you are.
Yeah.
But Mara at the Ebb and Rest likes Fade too, because she's a sorcerer.
Yeah, Mara actually does like Fade quite well. Fade's now got a home of her own. Kreek's got a home. Serena can buy a home. If she wants to. Cass can rent a home, but he has to get approved.
How would she go about buying one? That's something I hadn't talked to you about yet.
You got to go find Taryn.
Yep, go talk to Taryn.
Taryn Hookscale. He's the property broker in town. He actually will help guide you through the whole application process, because as you know yourself, you were renting before, and you had gone through this process before. You have to fill out an application for the council, be approved. Once they approve you, you have to agree to their terms and conditions. It's like a 1-year lease that you're signing. You're responsible for these special maintenance festival days where you actually help maintain not just your home, but the decking of Kelpwood itself. It's everybody does their part here, and it's kind of a really communal spirit. So when things go sideways, you notice it and they notice it. But keep in mind, it is still a port town. It may be a swamp and everything else, but it is a port town. Ships do come and go from here. Not very big ships that come into this part of the cove. It's usually smaller ships, so it'll be like trade barges and so on. There is where Kelpwood is, just to the east of it, is the delta of the Silver Vale run. So where it comes out into the sea, into the Gulf, is just to the east of Kelpwood, which is to
the east of Marshwood.
Of Kelpwood. Yeah, so it's on the other side of Mud Hollow.
Mud Hollow, I mean, yeah.
Sorry. Is like that's where Kreek came in originally. Because he came down the Silver Vale run and then docked and walked through. So that's so you guys kind of get a feel for where the geography is. So you've got the marshlands of Kelpwood, and then to the east you got the river delta, which goes up and into the Middlelands. Under the Golden Road, under the bridge, and then up to where Kreek originally is from, or currently has his main residence there, the town of or village of Silvervale. And that's right inside. That's pretty much that's as inside the Mistwood Forest as you can get currently for a settlement. So it's Kreek's residence is actually inside Mistwood, and then the town line is kind of the forest is there. And then the rest of the town is just on the other side.
So tonight it's still the same night. We haven't left for this thing we just did yet.
Yeah, you haven't left for it yet. And that'll be in the morning. Basically, first bell is when you would have met up.
Left. Okay.
So we can take it from there.
So
I am going to.
when we get back, with the storm coming, the bazaar stalls probably aren't going to open up again tomorrow.
You'll have to wait, see what morning comes.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you any answers. Why? Are you kidding
We
me?
won't be there for the morning to see. We'll be there at midday when we return to see.
Right. So you'll be up basically first bell is a crack of dawn. As soon as most people realize that it's morning, you're up and out. So you really wouldn't be out there. I am going to do a wave thrown hall update. It's pretty much ready now.
I will say, Fade, though, the more you hang out with Serena, you may or may not see how people react to her.
Right.
It'll be interesting.
Fade has pretty good insight. You probably saw she's got a good modifier for that, so she'll probably catch that.
Oh yeah, and she's pretty honest if you talk to her about it, you know. But there are certain things that she keeps to herself unless she trusts the person, just for personal reasons. But as you saw, seal.
My typing is not the fastest, but it's getting there.
I was super excited to play Selkies because I absolutely love Selkies.
And yeah, that's going to be, we're going to put a perception on that as well. And but not saying anybody is near there anyway, but the causeway is not in Wave Throne Hall. It's leading up to Wave Throne Hall. There we go. Oh, I didn't put the time. Dang it. Just before.
Sounded like a kitty, but I thought you had dogs.
I have vocal tics. My apologies.
That's a vocal tick. Oh, okay.
That is a vocal tick.
I was hoping to get to see a kitty cat.
No, I do not have a kitty. I have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
But I will apologize. I do have vocal tics. I have verbal tics. Sometimes they are very loud. Sometimes they are very soft. I also sometimes have physical tics, like that. But most of the time they are verbal.
Okay. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, no worries. I always let you know ahead of time. I sometimes do make very weird noises. I do apologize for that.
Okay.
It's very, very awkward in certain situations.
Oh, please. You're my personal whoopee cushion. Just gotta make it sound. There you go.
So
it's all good.
My verbal tick was hilarious because I looked at one of the people while I was at LARP, and I verbal ticked the word meow, looking at her. And she's like, "You just meow at me?" And I went, "I am so sorry." That was a verbal tick. Makes it even funnier. She plays a cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes they're super loud, and sometimes they're just like soft. So just ignore random noises coming from this direction.
All right. I have a verbal tick. It's called my family. No. Don't tell them I said that. They make weird noises sometimes.
Did everybody vote, by the way, for the dividers? It looks like it looks like it's tied right now.
I think so.
Is it? Yeah.
I'm starting to not like the swords.
Yeah.
Just because
they were
too busy.
Busy, yeah.
I like using the emoji to mark the category. so that it stands out when the categories close. Like right now, I got stars beside the Welcome to Foreverland, and a scroll beside chat rooms, microphone beside voice channels, key beside Ko-Fi members, and another star beside live RP channels. So that's the way I've got it so far. So I'm thinking about just putting back the lines. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit more organized for people to find rooms better.
Okay.
Like right now as well, keep in mind people can't see our rooms fade, the private rooms, because they're only visible to people who have access to them, right? So if they become more active and they see all of these homes, all of a sudden they see home of Fade, home of Kreek, home of Serena, right? Then there's all these more channels they can pick and choose from, but there has to be a kind of a way to sort through them and organize them better on the screen. So one thing I don't like about Discord is that they're not enough. Need more. Why can't you change the color of your text on the screen?
Oh,
They can change the color of it in the on the side panels or in the roles, but no, you can't change the color of text because they use Markdown.
Huh.
They need to update that. So
Yeah.
but anyway, we'll see what happens with the vote by tomorrow morning. If not, I'll have to make the deciding vote myself. You just put it back to the line. So anyway, guys, it was fun. Happy to shoot the shit with you. And I've posted the 10th bell scene on the causeway, and you guys can role play on other channels if you want, or do something with that one. That's up to you. But
Okay.
I'm out for now. We'll see you guys tomorrow
Adios.
Toodles.
And tune in on
Yeah.
Thursday night for the second session of Southern Expanse.
morning. Oh yes, for those that are still watching, there's one person still watching. But for one person still watching, Southern Expanse is on Thursday at 7 p.m. For episode 2. Looking forward to that one. Yeah, that could make Kelpwood even more interesting after Thursday. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Toodles.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.